Welcome to educator.com. This lesson is about applications of a percent. In this lesson, you're going to learn about finding applications of a percent, or how to use a percent. Applications are finding markups and discounts, and also what you probably see often is finding a sale price. Markup represents the amount of increase in a price. The selling price is the price that the store charges. Formula of markup is the amount of markup over the original cost equals the percent of markup over 100. This proportion is very similar to the percent of change in the previous lesson. So you'd see amount of markup, so how much more is that item over the original cost. What did the store pay for the item over percent of markup, usually represented by P over 100. And the formula for discount is the same. You would just be substituting the amount of discount for the amount of markup. Let's try finding a percent of markup. A factory sells sandals for $7.20 to the store. The store sells the sandals for $9. Find the percent of markup. We're going to subtract first the $7.20 from the $9 to see how much the store has marked up the sandals. It's 8 and we borrowed, so that's 8 minus 7. So the store has added an additional $1.80. So that's going to be our amount of markup over the original price, which was $7.20, equals the percent of change over 100. I'm going to cross multiply here, so that's going to make it 180, and that's going to be 720p. And now we're going to divide both sides by 7.2 or 7.20. Cancels. We're going to have p isolated, left by itself, and now I need to do some dividing. Remember that you can't divide with the decimal on the outside, so you're going to get rid of it by moving it 2 places, but inside you'll also need to add 2 more places. So now we're looking at 720 into 18,000. Well, we can divide both the outside and the inside by 10, making our division a little bit easier here. So we have 72 and 1, 2. And that'll go in twice here, giving us 144. That's 6. I borrowed, so 7 minus 4 is 3, 360. And we could try maybe about 5. 72 times 5, 10, 35, perfect. So 5, 360, 0. So the percent of markup was 25%. So this item was marked up by 25%. Finding percent of discount. A sweatshirt costs $36 at the department store. During a sale, the sweatshirt is marked down to $21.60. What is the percent of discount? So it starts out at $36. Let's take away the price that it is now. And 5 minus 1 is 4. And 3 minus 1. So the item was discounted $14.40. So that's the amount of discount over the original amount, which is 36. And we're going to put that over percent of change over 100. I'm going to cross multiply here, cross product, and I get 1,440, and over here I get 36p. You can take off the decimal and the zeros here. And now I'm going to divide both sides by 36 to isolate p, and let's do our division on the side here. It'll go into 144, I would say about maybe 5 times we could try, or maybe we could try 4 times. 12, yeah, that looks good. 144. And don't forget about this last 0, that's important. It'll change your answer from being 4 to 40. So the percent of decrease is 40%. So this sweatshirt was on sale, 40% off, and then the price was $21.60. So maybe a situation like this would be you were at the store and you just saw that the tag the new price was $21.60, but you weren't sure how much it was marked down and you wanted to make sure that it had been marked down a considerable percent. Let's try finding the sale price now. Now we aren't given the sale price, we're given the percentage off. A stereo system normally costs $182.50. During the summer sale, everything in the store is 20% off. Find the sale price of the stereo system. First, we're going to change the percent to a decimal, and then we'll multiply. So if you remember from previous lesson, changing percent to decimal, you take the 20 of the percent and move your decimal to the left twice. So your decimal is now 0.20. Now you're going to multiply 0.20 with 182.50. Everything's going to be 0 there. And then 0, 10, 4, 5, 16, 2, and 3 with 1, 2, 3, 4 places. 1, 2, 3, 4 places. So in terms of money, that would be $36.50. So that's 20% of $182.50. Now that doesn't mean the stereo is going to cost $36.50. It means that's how much you're going to take away from the original price. So $182.50 minus the discount, $36.50. 0, 12 minus 6 is 6, 7 minus 3 is 4, and 1. So now we found that the new price of the stereo system, the sale price after it's been marked down 20%, is $146. A pair of sneakers costs $42 wholesale. At the store, the sneakers cost $65. Find the percent of markup. Round to the nearest percent if necessary. Wholesale represents the price that the original people may sell an item. Usually wholesale represents that they're selling in a large amount, so they can sell the item for cheaper, and then the store will mark up the amount. So let's find our change in price. 65 minus 42. 5 minus 2 is 3. We didn't have to borrow, so we have 23. 23 over 42, the original amount, and that's going to equal percent of change over 100. So we can't simplify here, so let's do our cross product. That's 2,300 equals 42p. I'm going to divide by 42, both sides. Isolated p, and divide by 42 here. Let's, oops, that looks like an extra 1. We've got to be careful with that. It's 2,300. Okay, so I'm going to put it into, 4 into 23 would go about, let's see, 6 would be too big, so let's try 5 here. 5 times 2 is 10, carry 1, 21. Okay, leaving us with 200. And let's try about, 5 will be too big, so we could say 4. 42 times 4, 8, and 16. 168. This says to round to the nearest percent if necessary. So I'm going to find the next decimal place, and that'll tell me what to round to. 10 minus 8 is 2. I borrowed, so that's 9 minus 6 is 3. Put another 0. That's going to be about less than 8, about 7. So I would round that to, since it's a 5 or bigger, I would round that to 55%. So the percent of markup is about 55%. Find the percent discount of a $25 book on sale for $15. So let's take the original 25, subtract the 15, and that means the amount of change is $10 over the original amount, which is 25, equals the percent of change over 100. I'm going to simplify this one, dividing by 5, and I can get 2 over 5. That means that my cross products are going to be easy to work with now. Cross product 200 equals cross product 5p. I'm going to divide by 5 both sides, isolating p, my percent of change, and 200 divided by 5 goes in 4 perfectly. And remember to put in another 0 for this, because 4 is very different from 40 here. So the percent of discount is 40% off. A CD that normally costs $20 has been discounted to $12. Find the percent of discount, round to the nearest percent if necessary. So let's take $20, subtract the 12, and our change here is 8. 8 over the original 20 equals the percent of change over 100. I'm going to simplify here by dividing by 4. I can get 2 over 5. It's once again going to make my cross products easier to work with. I have 200 equals 5p. Divide both sides by 5, isolating p, and goes in 4. Bring down the 0 and goes in 0. So once again, same as other problem, my percent of discount is 40%. A pair of pants that cost $39 has been marked down to $25. Find the percent of discount, round to the nearest percent if necessary. So 39 minus 25, that's going to be 4 and 1. So this item is been marked down $14 over the original price of 39 and equals p over 100. Can't simplify the left here, so I'm just going to go ahead and find my cross products. 1400 equals 39p. And I'm going to divide both sides by 39. It will go into 140, let's see, about 1, 2, 4 times 3. I guess the best we could do here is 3. 39 times 3 is 27, 2, 9, 10, 11. 117. All right, and then 10 minus 7 is 3. We borrowed, so 3 minus 1 is 2. And then bring down the 0. And we could say it's about 40, so maybe 5, 6. Let's try 39 times 6. Let's see what we get. 54, 18. Oop, too much, so we're going to have to do 5 here. 5 times 9 is 45. 3 times 5 is 15, 19. 5 we borrowed, so it's 12 minus 9, which is 3. 35, yes, not big enough. And then let's put another 0 here just to find the percent that we're going to round to, because we need that decimal to know whether to round to the 35 up or keep it the same. Bring down the 0, and 40 will go into 35 about 8 times. Okay, so that's telling me that I'm going to round up to 36%. So the percent of discount is about 36%. Thank you for watching educator.com.